Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Facing the Music with Terry Oldfield. My name is John Valdivia, producer at idesound.com. This series, curated from candid conversations, will introduce a return to the mystery and wonder of existence, as well as our necessity to confront ourselves. We shall also feature selected pieces from Terry's extensive musical anthology. In this episode, Terry discusses how the direction of our lives is related to our own dissatisfaction, as well as the importance of the spirit of adventure. Welcome to Facing the Music.
I think it's important, this sense of moving on, because we only move on when we're unhappy with the situation to a certain extent. So the level of dissatisfaction kind of dictates direction. If you're completely, totally happy and fulfilled, you don't want to go anywhere, do you? So I reached a point, I think, where I'd had enough of what I was doing. And it wasn't like I made a plan. I found myself doing things like going to this Army and Navy store, buying an old backpack, sleeping bag, that kind of thing, and just preparing, not really knowing what was happening. You can't plan an adventure, not a real adventure. You can plan a journey, a trip, but a real adventure involves entering into a certain element of unknown. To go willingly into the unknown is very, very rare for people to do that. We get pulled into the unknown by some unseen forces, of which there again that level of dissatisfaction or lack of inspiration might create that sense of moving on into that relatively unknown area. I can't emphasize enough that this can't be planned. You see, it's like we're moved through certain areas and confronted with certain people. It's almost like an ongoing pattern of unfolding. You could never plan to meet a stranger, could you? Coming back to that sense of being lived, I like that expression. We don't live our lives. This is why I also have a problem with religions, anything that has a structure. It's planning how to behave in certain situations and conjuring up those situations in a kind of synthetic way, like rituals, ways of seeing, ways of listening, ways of behaving and doing, which become learned patterns, which are limitations. courage is a good one but again, courage is also something which you never know you're going to have until you have it. So it's like Frodo, you've got to put your foot on the path. You've got to actually set out. The resistance to setting out is because I've got a lovely home here, it's a nice log fire and it's all cozy and there's enough food here, it's very cozy. But I'm not happy. My daily routines are getting a bit friggin' boring or whatever. The incentive is there to put the foot on the path, but the fear takes courage to transcend it. That's the courage that comes from dissatisfaction or lack of inspiration or something that takes you into that newness. I haven't been recording for a long time anything new, and I didn't know what it was going to sound like or which direction I was going to be taking with this. I do know that I can blow into these silver tubes, so I've got all the tools, but to get the magic in there, the self has to take a back seat. It has to. As soon as the self comes in, you're going to just replay all the old stuff. You cannot come up with anything new using the self. So Terry, the musician, has to cease to be an idea and become a reality, traveling with the flow of creation. There is no way of transcending the self. There's no method involved, so it's just a question of seeing through it to begin with, and then just doing it. Pure action is something new. It contains the elements of using the tool of memory, of course, because otherwise we couldn't function in this world. But pure action is free because it's moving with the flow of creation. It makes life enjoyable in a way that is scary. It's not a comfortable enjoyment. It's a roller coaster. To get one of those t-shirts, the Just Do It t-shirt. I recommend those, they're good.